Welcome to the Engineering Podcast, a podcast from the engineers at Rocket.Chat. We'll be discussing new implementations, problems faced, what's coming, and everything else related to our daily work, always with a technical perspective to keep you up to date.
Hello, folks. A bit of technical difficulties in this start of this episode, but here we are. Uh, I'm Douglas Gubert, your host for this episode. Slightly screwing things up in the beginning, but yeah, now we're back on track. Uh, I'm joined here today by our team, our backend leader and co-founder Diego Sampaio. One of the backend engineers, Kevin Aleman. Aleman, is that correct? Good. Uh, our cloud leader, Aaron Ogo. Our infrastructure leader, Lucia Gebreosian. Our front-end leader, Guilherme Gazo.
Hello.
Mobile leader, Diego Melo. And Omnichannel engineer, Rafael Ferreira. Welcome, folks. Everything good today? All good? All nice weather?
Yeah.
So.
So, yeah. It's kind of cold down here in Brazil,
The
but
winter is coming.
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Yeah, so let's get started on the news sharing stuff. So for the Apps Engine team, we are now progressing with the NPM support project. It's kind of like stretching out, and we can see it taking shape as we go. And the next step for now is that we've realized that adding the npm packages into the apps will make them bigger, as we all know how node modules can get, right? And so we need to support. We need to have like a better storage strategy for apps that we currently better than the one we currently employ. So we had an RFC last week covering like the possibilities, and apparently like what we're going with now will be having this option to store the apps package either in the file system or on GridFS. Those are the two options that will be available. We can have more details on the why of this decision, but that's what we're going to go with for this next sprint. Other than that, like the usual bug fixing investigation and this kind of stuff that rules the day to day, where whatever there are engineers.
I'm kind of curious on the why. Since you mentioned the whys, I am curious on the why GridFS and file system.
Yeah, should we get into this now?
I don't know. Is there any like cliff notes?
Yeah. Okay. So highlights is like, given that the usage pattern for apps is not as high as, for instance, if we use the GridFS for file uploads, right? So GridFS seemed like a not as bad option as it is for file uploads and other highly accessible types of files. And we had also considered using the same storage that Rocket.Chat already has for file uploads, but the problem is like, what happens when there is like a problem in the configuration of this storage, or like the service is down for some reason, or etc. Like it will be hard to use this strategy when we if we need to load an app and we just cannot find it there, right?
Makes sense.
Yeah, so this was the reasoning behind it. It has been brought up also that a file system might be a better solution for simpler setups, smaller setups, where like they don't have like the MongoDB is not as beefed up as like for instance some enterprise or higher availability setups of Rocket.Chat. So that's why we've also decided to like add this option of having the file system as well.
Makes sense. Thanks for explaining.
You're welcome. Glad I could do it without having a heart attack or something. Anyways, uh, yeah, good. Um, yep. And the bug fixes also that I've already mentioned, and that's it for the apps engine. So I think next up we have some pile.
All right. Hi, everyone. So let me. I just would like to talk about we had a few releases like last 2 weeks, maybe just last week. We had a few security releases, but so both like all of them starting on version 3.12. So if you are using any like it's actually you should always update to the latest version. It will always bring bug fixes and new features. But if you have to stick to a minor version, please update up to at least to 3.12, yeah, as it has the latest security fixes. But we have also for 3.13 and 3.14. And as usual, as we have every month, last month we had a new minor release, the 3.15. It has all the security fixes and a few other bug fixes, a few features. So please check it out. And on the backend team, we have been working, as I mentioned on the previous episode, restructuring the files and the folders where those files are. And Kevin is actually leading this, so he is today with us to share more on that. Hi, Kevin. Can you please share more on that?
There you go, Kevin.
Good afternoon to everyone. I hope it's afternoon there. Well, the backend team has been looking to organize the code base, and this set of tasks that we are trying to do is a movement towards that goal. We have had some tasks during this previous week, as Diego mentioned, to document the current folder structure and for the server side of the application, and also to define a new structure to make the code base more welcoming for the current and for the new developers that use it. This is one of the reasons why we made all of this in the first place, but also there are other important reasons why we are making this. Some of them are better separation of concerns between the code, so everything is in one thing, everything is in one logical place, or at least where it should make sense for it to be. Other is that the code will be easier to find after that. You won't have to go to open every folder under the app folder to try to find a file, as some of us do right now, at least myself. Also, we are trying to move away from the old mature structure and separate the front end and back end code, because currently in the app folder, every package in there, every folder in there has the logic for the front end and for the back end in the same place, and we wanted to separate that as well. Currently, what we are trying to do is to migrate each of the server side of the packages under the app folder to its new place, to its new home. Some of them will be in services, others will live in the settings folder, other on the methods folder. The API will be in one place along with the methods, the metro methods that we still have, and so on. Currently, I think that we have maybe like a 20% of advance on this because we are doing the migrations in a way that should reduce possible errors in the future. And in case you're curious, the process part of the process that we are following is we select a package to migrate, then we find a place where that package should be, where the home of this new package should be in the server folder or anywhere else, based on the spikes on the tasks that we did to document that. We also create a new folder and start to move the files from the old place to the new one. Try running ESLint and TSC to find any missing imports and fix them. Then looking for any inconsistency between the files. For example, the frontend cannot require code from the server's part of the application, and that won't be spotted by ESLint. So we need to make sure that if the frontend was using some piece of code from a common place, it should be still available for the frontend after the migration. Also, we after that we test that the migrated functionality still works and everything is in place that has all the dependencies it should have. Then we run the unit test, fix any errors, if any, and then we commit and push to the upstream so the pipeline can run the end-to-end suite and fix if necessary. The sad part about all of this is that when something fails, since you're touching a lot of files, most of the times you don't know where the problem is. For example, currently in the current PR that I have for this, a storybook is not working. Storybook is something at the front end, and why it's not working? God only knows at this point. But yeah, what can go wrong when modifying the entire code base? And as a side note, this can, when all of this is merged, this can and will certainly cause conflicts to probably all the PRs that we currently have. So please don't blame me for that. I'm just trying to work. I'll be open to any questions, and I will try to create a doc with the new places where every file is right now. Well, after the migration, so it serves the developers as a map, so it doesn't live just in my head. And that's pretty much
important.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Kevin. I think like Git is actually good finding those, like it calls with names, like when you move a file from a place to another. So hopefully not all PRs will be in conflict state, but yeah, that's like one of those bad things that comes for good, right?
It can be very troll sometimes.
That too.
That sounds very fun, people.
Yeah.
But yeah, the
we're having
benefits are for sure like outweighing the effort that it's gonna take, right?
I hope so.
Alrighty. Yeah, next up, Aaron, what do you have for us?
All right. Well, not near as much detail as the backend team. Sorry, guys. But so we finished up the marketplace role system that was mentioned in the last episode. So if you're a publisher in the marketplace and you want to add a developer, you can actually add them as with a developer role, which will have reduced permissions. You can also add, if you want somebody to have view access to your account, but not be able to, create, update, delete things, you can now do that as well. With that, of course, on the back end, we have more flexibility in our own permissions. So we can actually have staff come in to be able to review apps, but not necessarily do some of the more advanced things, and we have, varying levels of sophistication, which is a good thing to have. We've completed several RFCs, or they're in progress, of things that are coming in the future. One of the big things to kind of share, I think we've kind of touched on this a little bit in the past as something that was upcoming, but this is more near term now. There's a big refactor coming on both the SaaS trial flow. So as you sign up for a trial on our SaaS, this is kind of refactoring that. as well as kind of a big change coming to the how you register to the cloud on-prem, right? So right now it's kind of convoluted, and a lot of work has been done to simplify that. So especially in the design aspect, and so from the technical aspect, we're trying to get all the final pieces in place to make this as bug-free as possible. So there's that's pretty much our highlights.
Nice. All right. Give me back my admin access on the marketplace, by the way.
Ah, darn.
uh, all right. Moving on. Lucia, infrastructure. What is up there?
Yes. Hey. So yeah, the past weeks we finished our automation for the hardening of our servers configuration. I mentioned in the last episode we were working on the migrating our Bastion hosts and hardening those, but this is like a work for all across all servers, and we still need to do some final external and internal infrastructure pen tests before applying this configuration across all servers. And yeah, we continue the task for automating the things related to inventory for OVH using their API. And we had an OVH maintenance schedule for today morning that basically affected different US servers. And it was a power cable replacement. So these servers went down for 3 hours, but customers didn't experience any impact. And it was nice because we took this chance to do some hardware upgrades on these servers and others. So we have like a better we improve our high availability architecture. We took this maintenance as an excuse to do that. And the work on automating like the deployment methods is still in progress. We are finishing the last details on the to be able to automate the snap release. And yeah, we need to finish some things there. And for the AWS AMI that I talked in the last episode, this got a bit behind, like compared to other priorities we had. But yeah, it's already uploaded and it's being scanned right now. So if this scans pass, we can probably just publish it. And the next deployment methods that we are going to focus our efforts on is the Helm chart that is a bit left behind right now. Then one thing that is kind of new, but we are trying to work on a test environment for a new CM solution. So I will probably have more info about that on the next episodes. And as Diego mentioned, there was a security patch release. So we rolled out that patch in all our cloud customers last week. So that was about it for us.
Nice. I imagine like this maintenance stuff is kind of like a roller coaster ride, right? Like,
Yes.
oh God,
yes.
we're gonna stop it. Is it gonna go back up? Is it gonna go back up? Is it gonna go back up? Yeah.
Yes. And catching up with everything. Yeah. It worked.
That's a good part. Yeah.
Yes.
Nice. Next up, Gazo. What do you have for us? Don't make those faces.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, last week, last week together with the release, we shipped our message template, the whole React component that we are working to replace the old ones. It is still not in the production yet. I mean, the components are in production, but we are not using yet on the application. But they are there, and I think we're gonna start to replace them in few places, like next, like soon as possible. I think like tomorrow, maybe. We have a lot of lists, like thread lists, discussion lists that you can like easily replace them, and then we're gonna finish the run rewrite using this template. And yeah, I think that the as the most exciting thing is only this. And actually, for the near future, I think me and Diego, we are joining forces to actually, we are moving to a new squad, and we gonna be in charge of provide a lot of chains and break chains, good break chains. And I hope I hope like in next podcast we can like already mention and bring like the news. But yeah, we are like preparing now the fields, and soon as possible we're going to start to release this exciting chains. But yeah, that's it.
Teaming up to make the super squad.
Yeah, but yeah, we are trying to help. Depend that kind of dream, right? But we are thinking about like how to help other teams, like make them more productive and deliver better things, right? Like then yeah, it's a challenge. But and we have like more freedom to remove things that we don't want anymore. I mean, removed code, right? Not people or features, but like we know we know about some strings and things that are not. It is in the way like to allow us to reach like a better performance and stuff like that. Then now we're gonna focus on this and let the other squads working in new client features, right?
Definitely. Nice. Cool. Next up, Mello with the mobile.
Hey everyone, we've been still finishing full support to Teams and jump to message feature. Hopefully we can finish and write tests and finish everything this week so we can release the first beta for the 4.17. And then probably the full release would happen next week. And yeah, that's not many news from my side. Maybe I can say that in our plans for the 4.18, we have Hermes and Jitsi updates. Hermes on iOS, of course. And yeah, that's it.
Okay. Hermes being the kind of like backend
JavaScript
library
engine
for
for
JavaScript.
React Native.
okay.
Yeah.
Nice. And Jitsi, we all know, hopefully, what Jitsi is.
Yep.
Alrighty. Nice. And lastly, but not leastly, Rafael from the Omnichannel team. What do you have to tell us?
All right. So it's a pleasure to be here today for Omnichannel side. We've been working in a lot of things, but I just would like to bring on a major update here. It's important improving that we are in process right now. We are focusing on candidate responses, so we are refactoring and improving the user experience, and we are creating. It's kind of a candidate responses center. It's a place that managers and agents will handle better their candidate responses. For example, if they want to create a global for everyone or a private for a specific agent or for a whole department. So that's it. And we are working hard to get things done, and probably our next steps we get things done. So yeah, I think that's it for Omnichannel side.
Nice. Canned responses is like those kind of like response templates, right? So message
Yeah.
templates like.
We already have some, but we are improving more and more. Putting some, for example, if you want to create a bold message, or italic, create
I
some.
see.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. I like it because it literally means responses in a can, and then canned responses.
Yeah.
Who comes up with this stuff? It's awesome. Anyway.
English.
English, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird language.
Alrighty. So yeah, we've reached the end of this episode. Okay, it was a fun ride. Thank you all for participating. I think like a last note is we still have many job openings listed there on jobs.rocket.chat, so definitely check it out. And yep, that should be it for today. Thanks all. See you
Thank
next
you,
time.
guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
You have listened to Engineering Podcast. This episode is available as video on YouTube and audio on your favorite podcast application. For more information, contact community at Rocket.Chat and give us your feedback.